Hi guys, how is everybody doing? I hope you are well. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Jamaica, but I do think we recognize the day in some way, shape, or form. A lot of us Jamaicans have relatives who live in the States, and as you know, as the great USA coughs, we start to sneeze. Anyways, so this design is a Christmas design that I did last year, and I didn't get the opportunity to post it before the season ended, so I saved it for this year. So I start off by removing the old gel polish, and the bit I'm using is a Pana carbide bit, and yes, I know that the indicator on the drill bit is for a coarse drill bit. However, this bit is an old bit and it's not as sharp as when I just got it. In fact, it's very dull. So when your drill bits get dull, you always have the chance of downgrading them. So it may not be sharp enough to cut through the acrylic, but you can use it on gel, right? And as you know, using your electric file and using your drill bits, it does take practice and experience, right? So it's how you use it at the end of the day. And also, if you notice, I don't use the drill bit all the way down to the natural nail, right? Once I start to see the natural nail showing through, then I desist from running the e-file over that area. Once I've removed the polish, I'm going in with my cuticle bit just to lift any dead skin or protein growth that has extended down onto the nail. And at this time, I was going in reverse and forward with this cuticle bit. And if you've been watching my content over time, you would know that I have experimented with different techniques of doing the prep work. And what I have come to realize is I don't think you can do a blueprint prep routine for all your clients, and this is my opinion. Reason being, everybody has different cuticle care needs, right? And depending on the type of need that you have, I may have to do an extra step, right? So it's really just a case by case situation. If you don't have a lot of protein growth, if you don't have overgrown cuticles, I may be able to skip a step or two. So that has just been my experience. So after removing the majority of the gel with the carbide bit, I then go in with my sanding band, and I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that this is probably a 150 grit sanding band, and I'm just using that to remove the remainder of the gel polish and also to etch the natural nail. So now I'm gonna go in with my cuticle nippers and I'm going to nip away the extended eponychium, or is it the proximal fold? I really can't remember. Those things are only relevant for nail school. Just kidding, guys. Don't be like me. I mean, it's good to keep the knowledge fresh in your mind. But I can tell you, I don't remember the anatomy diagram of the nails, so I need to refresh myself. I do like to have conversations with my customers and, you know, explain to them what I'm doing, especially when they ask. So it's always good to keep your mind refreshed, and you know, we have to take this seriously because this is our profession. This is what we do for a living. And you know, giving the service should be just as important as being knowledgeable about the anatomy of the nail, the functions of the different parts of the nails, etc., etc. So yes, I am nipping away dead tissue. I'm gonna call it that for now, right? And you know, I've read well, not in a textbook, but I've seen a fellow nail tech who is based in the United States post on her Instagram that nipping cuticles is actually illegal in her state because it's considered a surgical procedure. I don't know how true that is, so if anybody out there knows the state board laws in Florida as it pertains to nail care, can you please confirm or deny if this is true, because that's very interesting. But what I can say is, here in Jamaica, it's perfectly legal, it's perfectly okay. We are actually taught in nail school to nip the cuticles as part of the manicure and pedicure routine. I'm pretty sure it's all about aesthetics, you know, how the nail looks at the end of the day. And I know the nipping of cuticles is a very touchy topic. But you know, for my customers and myself, we have no issues with it. And if at any point in time I have a customer that does not want their cuticles to be trimmed or groomed, then I proceed with my service without doing that part. So I'm using a 100 grit panel file to just shape the side walls and the free edge. And also the back and forth motion of the nail file on the free edge, especially on the natural nail. I know that is a touchy topic as well. And I honestly can say that I do try to file in one motion, but sometimes I slip up and I slip back into old habits, because you know, there's a different technique when you're filing an artificial enhancement versus the natural nail. For those who don't know, so when you're filing the natural nail, you're taught in nail school to only file in one direction, right? So I'm going to be honest, I am guilty of not sticking to that. And I must say, I have not seen where it has adversely affected the retention of my clients' nails in any way, right? So I don't know if it's a case where, you know, because when I'm filing, I do not add pressure at all. Like I'm barely moving the file along the edge. So I'm allowing the file to do the work. So I don't know, I guess at the end of the day it boils down to technique. But if you are a stickler for filing in one direction, then by all means stick to the book, stick to the script. And you know, I really wouldn't want you to be doing anything that you feel is harmful to the health and integrity of your client's nails. So I'm going to call it the Maeli base coat. I Maeli. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can see the name AIMEIELE, I think. I don't have it here in front of me, but that's the base coat I'm using, and it's one of my favorite base coats. I still have it stocked as one of my essentials, but I also have several Beetles base coats on hand that I got when I purchased their various collections. So I've been using the Beetles base coat as well. So here I'm going in with this very sheer and pale pink. The polish work was quite messy because with this polish in particular, if you don't apply it in that manner, it applies very thin and streaky, and you end up having to apply like 3 to 4 coats, and I mean, who has time for that? So I just went in the first time around and applied it, kind of thick. And I think that's me remembering that that nail was actually supposed to be gold. So just using my orange wood stick along with a lint-free nail wipe to clean around the cuticles. And the lint-free nail wipe, as well as the base coat that I used, I have them linked in the description box for those who are interested. So you see what I'm talking about, guys? I added the second coat and it still has some amount of transparency to it, so I ended up having to float the second coat, and that is when I achieved the desired opaqueness. You can't get away with doing this with all the polishes, so you have to be mindful of that. So here I'm using my striper brush just to, even things out and ensure that the polish is smooth. So it looks as if I was living dangerously at this point in time, because I noticed that I actually went straight in and I did the thumb before curing the others, and I don't think that is something that I would do now, especially considering that I floated the second coat, because what that means is that there will be more product than usual, and there's a possibility that it could run to the side, which it kinda did with the pinky. And let's see what happened to the rest of them. Yeah, that was a risky move. But it looked alright. So we're going to draw Rudolph now, and at this time I was using my, what's the name of this gel again? It's from Young Nails though, but it's one of their gel paint, and I'm actually out of this now, so I need to restock. So this is what you would use to do art instead of the regular black gel polish. As you can see, the consistency of this is thicker than regular black gel polish, so you're able to get more opaque and crisp lines. And also, the thinness of your lines, it will also depend on the size of the detailer brush that you're using, and that wasn't the smallest detailer brush that I have, so we can get smaller lines for sure. And for my design, Rudolph has a golden nose, not a red nose. So here we're going to add some polka dots, and I think that concludes the design aspect of this set, because I think we left the pinky and the thumbnail plain. So I'm just going to finish off with some top coat, and then I'm pretty sure that I went in afterwards with my file and I just refined the edges. And the file that I'm using also can be found linked below in the description box for those who are interested. So after applying cuticle oil, I usually go in with my lint-free wipe and just remove the excess oil for pictures. And here is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you in the next video.